What if I told you that something planted centuries ago is still growing, still alive, still causing pain? What if I told you that racism isn't just hate, but a system, a structure, and sometimes a silence? You see, racism didn't appear overnight. It was built brick by brick, decision by decision, lie by lie. And the worst part, most of it was justified in plain sight and paper, in law, in religion, in education. Today, we're diving into the roots of racism, where it started, how it spread, and why even now it continues to hurt so deeply. This is not just history. This is the soil many of us are still trying to grow in. Welcome to Equal Voices Hub. If this is your first time here, know that this is a space for stories that matter, stories that are hard, stories that are human, stories that echo truth. Let's begin. To understand how racism grew, we have to go back, far back, before America, before the colonies, even before the transatlantic slave trade. We have to understand that race, as we know it, is not a biological fact. It's a social invention, created for a purpose, created to divide. In ancient times, societies divided themselves by culture, language, religion, but not race. But in the 15th and 16th centuries, during the height of European exploration and colonization, something changed. Europeans were traveling the world, encountering new people, new skin tones, new ways of life. And in those encounters came a question: how do you justify conquest? How do you rationalize slavery, land theft, and genocide? The answer: you rewrite the value of a human being. Pseudoscience was born. False ideas that people with darker skin were less intelligent, less civilized even, less evolved. These lies didn't remain whispers, they became books, doctrines, government policies. It became embedded in trade. Entire economies were built on the backs of black and brown people. Slavery wasn't just allowed, it was normalized. And the language followed. Terms like savage, uncivilized, beastly were used to describe those who looked different. And slowly, racism became more than prejudice. It became profitable. By the time we reached the 17th century, race had become a deeply rooted idea. In America, laws were passed that declared African slaves as property, not people. Families were ripped apart, culture erased, names stolen, generations born into bondage. After emancipation, the chains came off, but the system stayed. Jim Crow laws in the American South enforced segregation, denied education, blocked voting rights, and protected white supremacy under the law. And in the North, discrimination hid behind policies, redlining, school zoning, and employment bias. Racism adapted. Like a virus, it changed form, but it never disappeared. Even today, we see its shadows in police brutality, economic inequality, healthcare disparities, and media stereotypes. Racism is not just slurs or hate crimes, it's what happens when an entire system treats one group as less than. And why does it hurt so deeply? Because racism isn't just external, it's internalized, it's inherited trauma. It's the weight of feeling less than in a world that constantly reminds that you are. It's the child who gets told their hair is too wild, the student who's assumed to be at risk before being asked their name, the professional who works twice as hard for half the credit. It's the silence in the room. When someone says something racist and no one speaks up, it's not just about pain, it's about being unseen, unheard, unprotected. But here's something powerful to hold onto: racism is learned. Anything learned can be unlearned. The same systems that created it can be dismantled. The same voices that were silenced can now speak, and that's why this channel exists. That's why you're watching. Every time we share these stories, every time we name the roots, we begin to loosen them. We begin to heal. And healing begins with awareness. So what can we do? First, we listen. Truly listen to the voices of those who've lived it. Not just celebrities or leaders, but neighbors, co-workers, classmates. Then, we learn. We ask hard questions, and we sit in uncomfortable truths. And finally, we act. Whether it's calling out injustice, supporting inclusive policies, or simply standing beside someone who needs to be seen, we all have a role to play. Because silence never changed anything. You are part of this moment. You watching this matters, and your voice can be part of the change. Before we go, I want to ask you something important. What's a car or technology you're most excited to see in the future, or maybe your dream car? Drop it in the comments below. Why? Ask that now. Because we believe in full spectrum humanity. You can care about justice and love cars. You can fight for equality and enjoy everyday life. That's what Equal Voices Hub stands for. We are complex, we are full, and we are here. If you felt something during this video, share it, like it, pass it forward, and don't forget to subscribe for more real, raw, and relevant stories. This isn't the end of the conversation, it's just the beginning. Thanks for watching. This is Equal Voices Hub. See you in the next one.